Finally, we're live. Come on, guys. I've been waiting for this. I don't kind of a signal we've had tonight. I'm no trouble. Lots going on here, though. I'll put up for those guys that are interested. You guys can see the background. I've got more than enough. So, go stock on the tools. Anybody wants to email me, they can. Yeah. Son of Liberty, you're first. Just trying to get situated here, guys. I have an idea of what I want to do tonight, but I got to see how that. Hey, Timmy. Keith. Best part of the day right here. Great. Glad you like it. I apologize, guys. I know everybody's been well a while since I've been live. I apologize. I really do.
Matt, what's the story with the saw?
What's the story with the saw? So this actually is Marky Mark's 359. This is a Ed reported saw.
Really?
This is Ed Hurt. So I'm going to let Husky Boy have a look at what he thinks. Just so you know, this is not this. We're not. This is not a bashing channel. I'm not.
That's a huge thing.
I'm not going to be. Bashing other people's work. I don't think Ed's is worthy of bashing.
To the edge almost. I mean, it's kind of hard to see where the piston was,
Yeah,
but
we got to get the carbon out of that exhaust. That's for sure. I don't want to do too much. I can go in there and start mucking around, but doing a couple other things that I'd like to do. But because Mark really liked how it ran, it was just running funny at the time.
really?
And
Air leak.
well, I don't think it had an air leak. I think it might have had an air leak at the intake, or the carburetor's gummed up. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to play some part starts here, and throw some new stuff out. And the new intake clamp anyway.
Cut the base.
Yep, he got the base.
What something
And-
raised those a lot.
And he's got a pop up here going.
Those don't quite never raised a lot.
Certainly a
Because
bit.
the stock are a lot smaller than that.
Now, one thing that I would do, just looking at this, and so people can see, just this is me, so it's not necessarily the right thing to do here.
You definitely cut this on the way they didn't use. I don't think he used.
Yep. So you kind of it's a pop up. There's probably about a 40,000 pop up. But there's a lip right here, and I would like that lip and make this a little. It should go up and go, instead of going clunk, it should be kind of a smooth transition up.
That's a good idea.
That would be one thing that I would do if I'm going to be doing this for me. The other thing that I would do if I was going to be doing this for me is I would actually flatten the intake here. So this is rounded down here, and I would make it flat. That's just me, because you want the whole thing to open at the same time.
I think flatter intakes run better.
Yeah.
Square.
So the exhaust I think is fine. There's really nothing to write home about there. I just need to get the carbon out of there, basically. That's kind of my thoughts.
I'll tell you what, this piston doesn't look like it was ran a lot. It's got a lot of the machine marks.
It's got a lot of machine marks on it. Yeah, I don't think we put a lot of time on it, which is why I'm not going to change out the seals or anything like that. I didn't want to take the bottom end apart. I can.
It's got normal sawdust on it.
Yeah, I certainly can, but the crank looks nice.
Yeah, it's tight.
Everything's tight. So
It's not even blue or anything.
let's see if we can get the carbon out of this, out of the exhaust, and get this cleaned up a little bit. But this is more or less cleaned up, but it was in ultrasonic for a while. I'll clean the base a little bit, and then we'll see if we can get this installed.
You use this for clamp, huh?
I don't know what that was from.
Intake.
No, that wasn't on the intake. I don't know what that was from.
That's weird.
But I've got a fresh new OEM intake, so we're going to do the
That's
OEM
better
parts
than
because
that.
Mark wanted the OEM parts. Hey Bob, how you doing? Hey Zach and PA Dan, what's going on? Do I truly flatten the intake? Yes, you want to flatten the intake because the rings only pass it once. Mark made it. Great. So and Bob, so this is Mark's carburetor. I only got 2 of them from Jack's, so Mark gets one and Bob, you get the other. um, and Jesse, how's it going? Great, everybody's showing up. All right, so now I need to clean out the exhaust here, get the carbon gone. I got too much stuff on my bench. I know it's not a bench. Okay, all right. Oh, you know what? Oh, I've already got that on there. Well, check that out. Sorry, guys. My brain's been all over the place. I assume everybody here has watched the videos. That's right. He was using this. I know how to fix that because I checked this. It works. Right. Okay.
The tank vent.
The tank vent. Yeah, it works. See there? So this is Loctite 518 that was used, or 515, but it's Loctite that was used for the base gasket delete. So I just want to clean that up a little bit.
I think 1184 is better.
I'm going to use 1184 tonight. Yeah.
That's just mine. Does this thing have a Zama or Walbro?
You watch the comments. I think it had the Walbro, but I'll put the Zama on here because that's what's available.
It's also hard to find those Walbro. Dan Mill Bob's on the wife's phone. What's up, Dan?
Much better. That looks much better. Okay, now what else can I do with
I think
this?
this is the one Husqvarna that I need to run more of.
Yeah, probably.
I haven't really ran over these. The one that you let me run last time was the first one.
Yeah, I think that was Bob's. I think you ended up running Bob's there. And so remember the 346 we spent all day messing with the carburetor?
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I'm sending Bandmill Bob one of these, because even that carburetor is acting funny. So I'm going to send him a brand new carburetor, and that way hopefully that solves that problem.
It seems like the smaller carburetors are just... They don't like being plugged.
Right, they're finicky. They just are.
The jets are just so small.
And then they don't, no fuel, and you're just like, ah. Darn thing won't flow fuel. So I'm going to put some emery cloth here in my mandrel. This is just a drywall screw. So yeah, everybody here probably knows that my welders are gone because somebody took them out of my shed. So I have not been in the best mood the last week.
That's nice to see. Mesh.
Yep. Yeah, unfortunately, my welders are gone, and more importantly, as something that is not replaceable as easily, is the Chinese 660.
Did we put like 3 or 4 different cylinders?
Which we have 3 or 4 different cylinders on, and oh lord.
Such a waste of time. Really was a waste of time though.
On the upside, we know what to do next time.
Yeah.
That's cleaning up. It's pretty good overall. It's one little bit.
This guy asked, are you having troubles getting parts from Hudson?
It took a long time for me to get the parts, but I did get them. And they actually they ended up doubling my order.
Oh, really?
And the 2 orders showed up on the same day.
That's funny.
After 2 months of nothing moving, yeah, they felt bad, so they ended up shipping. I said reship it. It's been 2 months. So they reshipped it, and then both orders showed up same exact day.
Hope you washed your hands after opening it.
Actually, one isn't even opened.
Are these the same flywheel as the 350? They almost look the same, don't they?
It probably is, but I don't know.
The coil is definitely the same, though.
Coil, yeah. So there's one thing here that's just not quite as even as I'd like, so I'm going to get rid of that. The bevel's nice. I don't really have any complaints with this port job. I think I do things at least a little bit different, but not that different. So
everyone has their own style.
Everybody has their own style, yeah. And to be honest, I'm just not that familiar with Ed's work. And Mark said the thing ran really stout, so.
He said okay. It ran well?
Yeah, he said it was really strong.
They should time it. I wonder how much different its numbers are than yours, or what you would use. I mean, would you use the same numbers on a 350 in this?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
That's a little more even. That makes me feel a little better. Sorry guys, this is definitely the boring part of the build.
And you said this is EHP, not the other guy. EC, right?
EC saws? No, this is Ed Hurd.
EHP.
Ed Hurd. That's EHP?
I think so. That's
okay.
Right.
I'm not familiar, so if Ed's watching, forgive me, I'm not familiar with your work. I really don't want to mess with it because if it ran good, then...
Just getting the carbon out of there.
Yeah.
Making it look pretty. He definitely cut that base, then you could tell right now. I bet you it's got good conversion. How much this squish will we get was cut?
I'm looking for... Oh, there is a Husqvarna symbol on it. Okay. Looking for a...
Thought it was aftermarket.
I'm thinking maybe it was... No, it's not. It's
because there's
a Husky symbol on it. Okay, good.
Molly.
Okay, good. Because there was no Mal symbol on here.
Mm.
There's a...
Must be a Husqvarna branded cylinder or something.
Well, it's got the Husky part number on it, and it's got a Husky H in there.
Yeah, it's not aftermarket.
So that's not aftermarket.
That decomp is oleum.
Okay. So then what other thing I'm going to do?
This guy asked when porting, how do you decide how far to widen the intake and exhaust? Not timing numbers behind the 90-degree axis the piston stroke. I think he's talking about the width.
Yeah, so the width... There are rules, like for the width of the exhaust. Basically, you go to the skirts, but if you go all the way, then that's an issue. So there are rules like 60, maybe 70% of the width of the bore is also the width of the exhaust, somewhere in there. Like 60% is kind of conservative. I think 70% of the width of the bore is a little bit on the aggressive side. The wider you go, the more likely you are to snag something, or the more bevel you're going to have. The downside to bevel is that a flatter exhaust is a crisper transition between closed and open. So the more flat you have the exhaust, the more pop you're going to have. So you have to balance that out.
But too much.
I am not a pro porter, so...
We learned with the 660.
Right.
Too flat.
We learned by screwing around here, not necessarily by being the authority on this subject. I am not that guy. I can just get them to be pretty good. So...
It's hard to be repeatable.
It is. It's very hard. On the intake, you can basically take the intake as wide as the skirt, if you want to take it that wide. I would go, maybe 2 millimeters shy of the skirt. That way you have some support. Now, these are not even skirts. These are beveled here. So, it doesn't give as crisp of an opening no matter what you do.
Then you want to be careful with touching the top of the intake, because you can hit the ring. The ring will drop in the intake.
Yeah, if you drop it too, if you bring this part of the intake up too much, you might get the ring into that part. But in general, the ring theoretically passes the intake one time, and that's when during assembly. That's the one time you have to make sure not to snag it. Yeah. But other than that,
yeah, it's fine.
You can widen the intake quite a bit.
It is a good point, though, like you said, with that intake. You could widen it more than the exhaust. Or at least without less worry.
With less worry, because you don't have to worry about the rings.
You can make it flat.
Yep. Did Jay Daniels say something? Jay Daniels had a comment. Inner tube is up and down. I might be on hot right now. Who knows? Good to see you. Good to see you too, man. Leonard, our celebrity just showed up. Roadrunner, how's it going? These are just Scotch-Brite bowls. A little scratchy.
Doesn't Master Mind say that the planing in these is like a weak point or something?
It can be. I don't see any flaking here. It's not flaking off.
I mean, it's only really a worry if it's been cleaned up after it's been scored, right?
I don't think I'll get this completely
Marking
clean.
it so it doesn't rush any gas pulse in a 288.
On the odd 181 tank you need.
Can you even buy them new anymore?
Yeah, I think you can get the tanks new, but I think Mark has a odd 181 that needs the funkiness of a 181 tank, like pre 288 tank.
It looks like metal or something like that. Can they do metal, or is that only like some of the other ones?
The 2100s, yeah.
2100.
I don't. It's a good question. I don't know. That's a really good question.
The 2100 definitely has a metal tank now.
So all I'm doing is shining up the bore here. This is just to make Mark feel better, really. If you can't feel good about the tank, you might as well feel good about shining up the bore.
Did Buck ever get his 346 running?
No, we haven't even gone there yet. He's been busy. I've been busy.
Yeah, port that right.
Oh yeah, we'll fiddle with that. Don't worry.
Whole 9 yards.
I want to see if I can get the rest of that out of there.
You should have this thing on a shelf tucked away.
Don't tell anybody about that.
That shouldn't be just laying there.
God, got enough problems with people taking stuff out of my house, let alone 394 esoteric parts.
When I have an eye for 394 parts, Matt.
I know. I picked that up on eBay. Somebody put that up on eBay for like way too little money.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Same thing with your carburetor there. Gonna have to keep my eye out for more of those.
HD12.
Yeah.
They're no longer available now, I think.
Nope. This is just a wire wheel on the Dremel, and it really is
sweet.
Mason has too much fun with my toys. Oh, it's coming. Oh, just knock it, just like this. There we go. Better. here.
A lot of you always have a ton of knickknacks. Just hidden away.
Well, you have to have a ton of knickknacks if you're going to be doing this.
It breaks sometimes.
You have to have tons of tools in your toolbox if you're going to be doing this type of work.
I agree. Takes a long time to acquire them.
It does. I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to go wash it, and we're just going to put this thing together, I think. Because, yeah. Sound good?
I just noticed how many tools.
You like that? So I just got, I think it's like 90 of those sleeves made.
And
so I got lots of sleeves ready to rock.
Whoever made these, they really had to pump these things
They had to pump them out, yeah.
Holy shit, this is a lot of work too.
And it's a lot of work. But I used to do these all by hand, and it's just
crazy.
I do them 5 or 10 at a time. No, I'm gonna wash this. I'll be right back. And you could spend near on half of forever cleaning this sort of stuff, but I just don't see the point. Part of having a wood bench. Brake cleaner disappears into it.
That was fast.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Would you use brake cleaner or something? I love that stuff. That's my favorite tool, I think, brake cleaner.
I think my favorite tool is my torque wrench. But
that's a good tool.
I really like my torque wrench.
I need to get it better when I just have one that's like just a dial, you know what I mean? It's just like a rough idea, it's not like accurate like a real one. Definitely a must have though.
Yep. If you're gonna start with a tool, that would be one to start with, you know. Because you can do all kinds of, once you got a torque wrench, you can do all kinds of crazy stuff.
Flywheel nuts and everything. This live chat won't be over until Matt starts this thing with a pop.
Fine.
You got the 660 going and like what? That was like a world record. I think he tore the thing down, ported it, put JB Weld in it. Right?
Yeah, what is that? A Sunday morning?
It was in my truck. It was in my truck within 2 hours. That was a world record.
World record day. All right, what do we got here for? All right, want to make sure this surface is clean too. I'm pretty sure I've already cleaned this, but
for some reason when I look at this, I almost think 350.
It's
the same size.
It really is, yeah, very very similar.
See, that's a nice thing about Husqvarna is like a lot of the little parts interchange.
A lot of the stuff interchanges here, yeah. Okay, That's clean. That's clean.
That's another good tool to have.
Mm-hmm. Did a little bit of two-stroke oil on this. I don't want lots because I don't want it to interfere with the 1184. So just something to consider when you're
Because it could drip down right here.
yeah, when you're putting stuff together. You do not want it to be drippy with the oil. You can once it's together, go for it, but
That's probably a good idea once it's together. Maybe put one down the plug hole or something.
I make sure it's everywhere.
Yeah.
But you don't want it messing with these surfaces, you know?
That's a good point. Haste makes waste, right?
Something like that. That's where I like my tabs, not up there, but whatever. That's one. Okay, so where's the piston pin bearing? Is that the clutch bearing? No, that's the pin bearing. Okay. So you got to get all your goops and everything ready. A little two-cycle on here. Again, not much. This is all going to get coated as soon as first start up. Okay. Before we do that, let's go over to here.
That
And we
picture
need-
right there is motivation for you. That's
Yeah,
what your
I
sauce
know
are
it.
gonna go out and do.
My buddy Danny got that for me. He actually took that photo, I think.
That had the plastic. That probably might have been what I was thinking, huh?
So this is the original plastic clamp from Husky, and these
Nice.
are downright terrible. So, no good. And this is one thing that necessitated a recall. This affected enough saws that Husky needed to recall this.
I mean,
They
it's
did not.
kinda common sense plastic would be a bad idea for that.
Bad idea as a clamp. It just
It's getting hot.
It gets hot and it will not retain its shape. So, what I'm going to do is take this all apart, in fact. So, this rubber piece, you double, triple check this rubber piece here, because this is very, very important that this is not ripped. It's not, it's fine. Now I need my Loctite here.
Would you ever want to visit New Zealand?
Once in a while, yeah. I could.
Talking
Tate's. Is this the missus or the mister? Or both? Who's running around with Mega? New Zealand's the second best place on earth. Mega? Who's that? Yeah, good. Okay. Alright, let me show you guys what... Forgive me, I forget who recommended to do this, but there was somebody that recommended put the rubber on first. So I'm going to do exactly that. And the one thing I really do like Loctite for today is these intakes. This is Loctite 518 anaerobic sealer. It does seal particularly well metal to rubber. It does metal. It does not do metal to plastic.
It is interesting, though, huh? Because you would think that rubber is similar to plastic, but it's not.
It really is not. That's right.
It's
So
a
let
bit
me-
different.
So I'm going to show you what was recommended to me.
So what makes plastic hard? Because they're both rubber, basically, kind of, but not really.
Now you're asking a chemistry question. Please don't do that to me
Because
right
now
now.
I'm confused. I know they're two different things, though.
So somebody recommended to me to put the rubber here on first, and that way you know that that nipple there goes in there. Now you have the next part.
That's a good tip. Put the rubber on first.
Put the rubber on there first. The next part, this baffle, then goes on. But then you know that it's seated. That's the big thing. Gotta know that it's seated. Then this baffle gets pressed on. Because what happens is if that nipple there gets creased, it's a real problem. And then this baffle goes right on.
You know, it's surprising with that recall that he didn't just redesign it like a 372, which is the separate impulse, normal intake boom.
Something doesn't feel quite right here. That's what doesn't feel quite right. This is not sitting down. That is jamming up against the metal. Of course. Thanks, Husky.
That part where he cut the base?
Right, see where it's binding? You can't put that in any further.
That's probably why it leaked in the first place. Huh?
I don't know. But now what I do is take my Dremel and hack that off.
It's like a casting defect from the factory, huh? Casting defect.
Maybe a casting defect, maybe just an oversight. I don't know what you want to call it. Call it whatever you want.
Matt's good at fixing oversights.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
It's a lot of oversights.
A lot of oversights. Well, gee, that's not the best, you know. Alright, so the rubber goes in. You can feel it so it doesn't rack back and forth. And is now is there space for this baffle? Yep. That's better.
How much you got? People?
Just enough so it clears.
Like 050 or something like that.
Yeah. Again, just to show everybody again, because we can do that. That
We're
rubber.
doing quality control here.
Quality control. Rubber goes on. And if you want to be really picky about it, well, we'll do this thing next, because that's another topic. So these intakes indeed are a bit of a pain. I promise you guys, this nipple, if it gets creased, oh, you won't know it. That's in, that's seated. That's in. You have that to line up. That's seated. Okay. Now, we're going to deal with this.
Do you end up reworking the lowers, or do you just leave his port work?
I'm going to leave his port work. I'm not going to do
That's
anything.
probably the best idea. At
Yeah.
least know what we got.
Right. I'm not going to do anything.
And
But
then that way we can say we didn't screw him. You know.
right, I don't want to screw up Mark's saw. If he said it's running good, then I'm going to leave it.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to take the Dremel and I'm going to hit it here. So right here. So it goes under this lip smoothly, but when it grabs like a devil. Right?
That's not that hard, didn't take much.
No, it does not take much just to round that over that way. So it's got to slide under there and then grab.
Because those things are a bitch.
Oh, God, yes. So, and I like to take this and give that a little bend. You can bend these a little further forward.
Does it make it tighter or something?
It makes it just so they pass over each other easier.
Mm.
Okay.
And when you go to remove those, you use a flathead, right? Or something like that, you pry it off.
Yeah, you can just use a flathead. Ding, done. Okay. Clamp goes on. Then what you can do is this little ring that they come with is helpful because it basically makes it so you can grab it. Like get it mostly there, you know. And then you can use your lineman's pliers to get it. Yeah, so make sure it's lined up. I like lineman's pliers for this. I happen to have a set that just fits my hand just right. These are not my nice Nip-X ones, but
Where do you buy these pliers? Online or
clank,
that you've
done.
acquired all these?
All the pliers? Those are from all over the place.
Just over the years.
Yeah, over the years, just all over the place. Yeah, some is Harbor Freight, some are the nice Nip-X
These are
ones.
nice.
Yeah, even some of the Harbor Freight ones are nice. So I'll show one thing I like to do. Again, another pair of pliers that just fits just right. Just regular adjustable pliers, but you can move this around if you need to. If you need to stuff it further up there or something. See? And then if you want to check it,
Yeah, start going to more taxes.
I'm going to check and make sure that it's going to fit proper. That clamp isn't going to be in the way of anything, which it's not. Alright, now what is in the way?
Probably pretty important that thing slides in that wall just right. Huh?
Right.
Because if not, then that thing just cocks, you know?
No.
Do you have to take some?
That's definitely not sitting down.
The boot.
Oh.
What is it, the extensions or the intake?
No, but this is what happens. See, the black part, hits under there. You fit it.
So you either gotta grind that or this.
Right.
Probably using the plastic, huh?
It's easier to grind the plastic, but I think I'm going to grind the case instead.
Make it nice.
Again, this is one of those oversights, like...
Why didn't he get this when he ported it? Not a criticism, just asking.
Well, maybe it didn't need it at the time. Maybe the other...
Is that the original intake?
No, the original intake was over here somewhere. Let's see if it's modified. Maybe it's modified, maybe it's not. I don't know. Where did it go?
Maybe he modified that or not. Be interesting to see though.
Too unorganized here. I'm trying to see, is it the base here? Or is it that part?
What's up, Dad? Dad joined you.
Hey, Dad.
Carol. You think it'll take a lot?
No, I think... Let me show everybody where it's binding. Under there. So I probably need to grind at least part of the case and part of this lip off. So
This thing, right?
yeah, I got to grind that down. Probably 50 thou or so.
That's probably how much he cut it out. Something like that.
And I'm gonna grind this lip off also, just a little bit. Don't want to get rid of the baffle aspect of it, but can you turn on that and hold that for me over here? I will grind it. Let's see if that goes down now.
Now my dad knows what I use his vacuum for when I take it out. Borrow it.
Still on that side and on that side. Okay, keep going. We gotta grind more. Almost.
More? Probably take a lot, huh?
A bit. I don't think I've ever done that before. I've just ground the case down instead.
That took a lot.
On 394s, I'll grind the case down.
That's probably a better way to go about it. That way it's always like that.
Still not quite.
Really? Oh yeah, definitely. I think it's almost like that side somewhere, huh? Maybe grind the
It's a
case.
really positive stop, though. Like,
Is it the extensions, maybe?
something else stupid.
Maybe they put Play-Doh on it or something.
I think there's a piece of the case gasket here that's in the way, too. Keeps, like... Yeah. Ooh,
Wow.
close.
Maybe grind the case a little bit now. I'm surprised it took that much. You must have really cut the base on that.
Man. I'd love to see... Not there. Where the devil is it?
That's a pain in the ass. Honestly.
Man. It's definitely binding at the intake here somewhere, but I can't see it.
I bet you that's why I leaked in the first place.
Wow. Why do I end up with like the weirdest problems?
It's a Matteo special.
Apparently. I don't see where it's binding, man. It feels like it's binding for sure, but
It can't be that metal part because that's in there. Right. No.
it could be something against, you know. Piece of tissue paper in there like that. See if I can get it to rip somewhere. Yeah, look. That's where it's binding. It indeed is on the metal, which means I have to grind the case away a little bit. Oh my God, killing me.
Bingo.
Bingo, bango, bongo. There it
Back
is.
in business.
See, now it's not no rock at
No
all.
rocking. Yeah.
Zero.
Oh, I almost thought it was gonna be like those extensions or something. I'd almost put money on that. That's why that thing leaked before. Unless you have to hold it.
But it didn't have. No, it couldn't have been because the plastic clamp does not extrude down into that area.
That makes sense now. But maybe the plastic clamp.
This is
wasn't
not
tight
modified. Yeah, I don't. Maybe it wasn't tight enough. I don't know. But it did not have it. Here's the thing. There's no obvious air leak. It was just running funny.
I bet it was the carburetor.
That's what I'm betting. I'm betting it was the carburetor running funny.
That's examine, right? That's the one.
That's the new one. Yeah. So let's.
GL 42.
Bingo, bango, bongo. We got it, guys.
It's actually a pretty big bore.
It runs good on my 346.
What was that?
It runs good on my 346. Yeah.
That makes sense though. You're going up to that size. And it's ported.
Okay, impulse line is fine. No issues with that. Rubber's all good. That's all good. We're good here. All right. We ready to start gooping this up?
Open it up. That's actually a pretty decent bore size.
Yeah.
I mean, for 60cc, right? That's what this is. That's what you had on the 357, right? When they ran.
Maybe. I don't know.
The one that you sold, I think, right? You didn't keep that one?
No, I didn't keep it. No, no, no. It went to Bob, but I'm just trying to think of what did I put on that one.
I didn't look at it.
I don't remember.
Bob, Bandmill Bob bought one.
Bandmill Bob, yeah. Well, Bandmill Bob has bought like everything here, so.
That's a nice saw. That was a nice
The
saw.
357's a nice.
I was kind of
kicking saw.
regretting seeing that one go. It was like that was kind of hard for me. I think I'm gonna steal this chair and sit on it.
Go ahead.
If you don't mind. The best tool in Matt's whole shop. Watch the show.
Right. It's like, Mason gets sit here live and watch. Isn't that great? Who's jealous?
You ever see some guys put like a bead on there? You don't need a bead.
You don't need a bead. For the love of God, no
it's
bead.
Not a diff cover. Could you use that stuff on a diff cover?
Probably.
I bet it would seal pretty good.
It'd probably be great, yeah.
Because they probably use black or TV.
But even black RTV black is not as gasoline and oil resistant as this stuff is.
That's probably better, than it?
This stuff is probably better, yeah.
RTV probably wouldn't last the long on this all. I haven't tried it though.
John Riley uses RTV Ultra Black, I think, and he really likes it.
I mean, I guess it
which is
really
different than RTV Black.
Ultra.
It's Ultra Black, I think. You have to ask John what he uses, but
Specifics, yeah.
he likes it.
I mean, if you think about it, though, if you get the surfaces absolutely sparkling clean,
then you can use rotten eggs and it'll work fine. I think the guys did that once when with computers, because they use different types of grease on computers to actually mate the computer chips to the heat sinks. And they tried all kinds of random different materials, and it almost didn't matter what they used.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, to seal what? The computer chip?
You go from the computer chip to the heat sink. So they have special thermal grease that you're supposed to use between the computer chip and the heat sink. Yes. And ideally, you actually have to take your computer chips and you have to put them on sandpaper to get them absolute flat.
And this is for what kind of computers?
If you're doing high performance computers.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're into that?
You
just follow
dabble.
I would never have known that. Learned something new.
Okay, so we got lots of oil in here.
Could you put that spike on a 350? That would be a nice upgrade.
It would be.
Not thinking little one nothing on there, isn't that nice?
Just want to make sure it's all nice and clean. Good. Okay. Now we're letting it tack. That's important. Okay, I need the wrist pin bearing.
When it tacks, that means it just slightly skims over.
Yep, it's got to skim over. That way it doesn't smush out too far into the ports, you know. You definitely don't want it on the impulse port. On the impulse line, that's particularly bad. There's a channel there.
Wow, yeah. You gotta be real careful about that one. Sorry.
Call my buddy back later. Come on. There we go.
Huh.
Now, need my circlip pliers here. Once this goes together, the whole thing will just go right back together, no problem here, but it's a matter of getting this all cleaned up exactly the way that we want it, the way that Mark wants it. Going to go a full circle around just to make sure that clip is good. And it is. Okay, that's the intake side. That's the exhaust side. All right, how we doing? 19 people still watching. Unreal. Let's find the head bolts. Got 2, 3, 4. Brake cleaner. I think I need just a little bit more. It's the problem with doing base gasket deletes. You start to get paranoid.
Well coverage. You definitely cut that for no gasket, because when you took it apart, there was no gasket in there.
Right, for sure, because the Loctite 518 was on there. The red stuff here.
Theoretically, if you were building 1,000,000 saws a day, it would probably cut it to have a gasket. Unless somehow it was better to not have one.
Yeah, I like running it with a gasket. That's how I cut things. But if you cut this further, then if you cut it down 20 thousandths more so you can run a gasket, you're thinning out the ears more. You might crack it. So that's why I cut the case instead of.
That's pretty thin over the transfer.
It's pretty thin. That's why I cut the case instead of the base here.
There's a whole lot of material in the case.
Right, there's lots of material there. You're not likely to break something. You know, if you take 50 thousandths off, who cares? Not a big deal. Okay. Here's my guy. Binding somewhere over here.
Yeah, ring compressor.
I do, but using ring compressors makes me feel kind of.
You want me to hold the piston?
I feel defeated if I use ring compressors. Can't have that, you know.
Too easy.
It's too easy. That's right. Okay, your circlips are exactly in the right spot for both of them.
That wasn't too bad. I mean, it's a one ring piston.
No. Good. And before this goes completely down, I'm going to get head bolts here to line up. Not that one. This one. Not hard. Just want to gently kiss it. And last one here. And that's typical.
Do you think you'll ever get a lathe? Or is it just not worth it, really?
On this property, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it here.
Because you would obviously agree, if I'll get a lathe, you probably would just go ahead and get a nice one. Instead of, I don't know. You can always get something like cheaper one. But really, for most of the time, you cut the cases instead.
Yeah, most of the time I cut the cases instead. So I don't necessarily need a lathe. Where is my toolbox?
It's just not really. There's nothing to really need it for. I mean, honestly.
I'm not doing production, you know. I'm not producing these things.
Yeah, it's one thing if you're doing it for like a living.
I'm doing this to screw around, you know. I'm just messing around here.
You can do a lot of things with the Bridgeport.
You do a lot of stuff.
I'm surprised how much you can do with the Bridgeport.
And the
you can cut pieces with a Bridgeport.
Yeah, I do. Sometimes I'll do them freehand.
Set it up right.
You can do them freehand.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I do the 372 bases on the Bridgeport. Freehand. If you had a rotary table, you could set it up so that you just crank it and the whole thing rotates around a cutter.
Freehand is probably nice though, because you can like get it right through it.
You can get it pretty nice with a rotary table.
That big board I ran, I know I ran two of them, the original big board.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them were cut on the Bridgeport.
Yeah. Freehand.
The original gangster. That's what we'll call it. The OG is what I'll call the first one.
Yep, it's good.
The hard part's done.
What do you guys want to do next? Want to work on the tank? We work on the tank. That'd be a good thing to do. Mark wanted a new fuel line.
You look right.
Okay.
This one still has a sticker on the tank too. don't look like a high use saw.
No.
I wonder how many years ago this thing was done.
Mark, I got to be honest. I'm going to reuse the fuel filter.
You're gonna what?
I'm going to reuse the fuel filter. It's fine.
Yeah, it's white. You get tell when you're dirty though. You're like tan and nasty. Going fancy here.
I'm going fancy. I'm putting us. This is what Mark wanted. So Mark, customer gets what the customer wants. As far as I'm concerned, Husky can go pound sand as far with these damn things, but I do have them in stock.
Do you know what I think when I see that line is I think of a pig's tail.
That's why it's called a pigtail. Yeah.
I can't stand the proprietary lines on some of the other saws either. You can't just go and put a line in it when you need it here.
Right. Stupid.
So you're left in the dark. And they know this.
They know
want
it.
you to go to the dealer.
Yeah.
And spend more money. One guy said he got the green cap special.
Oh, it's special, all right. Can I go home now?
I think he did the right thing though by leaving that kind of work alone.
Yeah, you don't.
It's kind of hard with that kind of thing though when you're working on somebody else's stuff. It looked good though.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's not necessarily what I would do.
See how it runs. Let's get it started.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Because this vent I've already tested and it works fine.
What, did it pop off at a certain pressure?
You can see that, yeah, if you draw through it, or go the other way, you can actually see the fluid go through on the sintering. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my soldering iron and basically smush over the plastic just a little bit.
That's one of my favorite little tricks that
Yeah.
you do. Those things always fall out, especially those white ones. They're always...
And these are not cheap. These things are like 10, 15
they're
bucks
expensive.
or something stupid. That little white piece in there. Oh, how we doing, guys? Yeah, it's fine working vent. Yep. Well, I like this still. Yeah, well, that's R3. So that's what I typically use is the R3. But if a customer wants the pigtail line, they get the pigtail line. So, whatever. The rest of this tank is fine, I think. Yeah, so just going to quickly take the soldering iron here and basically push the plastic from the tank and almost do like a plastic weld in a couple of spots here.
And obviously, you probably wouldn't want to do that if there was gas in the tank.
Right, yeah.
I mean, I think everyone knows on the channel, common sense, don't use a soldering iron on a gas tank with gas in
There's
it.
gas in it. There's no gas in it. We're good. Okay. What just came out?
Because I bet you somebody would probably do that.
Oh,
and
with the
they
rubber.
would probably try and say, oh, I learned it from your channel.
Right, we learned to burn my house down from the channel.
That's probably why you gotta be careful with some of this stuff.
Well, this is a chainsaw, after all. You know, you have to be
It's
careful
a
with all of
dangerous
it.
tool.
You have to be careful with all of it. It's a chainsaw. If you're messing around with a chainsaw, you know, what do you think's going to happen? All right.
So
let's see. Where does this? Do they both come up to the same place? No. Through, and then start getting your screws in here, and this is going to go together.
There's really not a whole lot to this saw, huh?
No, it looks like a bunch of pieces, but really this is just going to go zip 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 back together. I'm not worried at all. So chain catcher, hardly used. If you look, it's one of the telltale signs that I look at when I'm looking at used chainsaws. Look at the chain catcher. You know, if it's all crapped up,
if it's gone and there's pieces missing out of the case, then walk away.
Walk away. or get it for free. You better be getting it for free, you know?
Free with a beer.
With a beer. Yep.
That sprocket looks pretty good too.
Yeah, all of it's good. Yeah, so
the saw's barely used. It's just dirty.
We'll put the AV buffer in here. We'll stick. You do want to check all these by hand. You do not necessarily want to rely on your impact to do that. You know what I mean? Okay, the rest of the tank.
Getting down in a wire here, you might be able to beat the C60 record.
I doubt it. That record will never be beaten.
That's a serious record. Thinking about it now.
So the AV mounts are in. I need to do the buffer on the bottom here. Rubber goes in. You can kind of smush this in usually. Get this to move a little bit. Okay. Now your tank's on.
Screws or anything on that saw. It's definitely in good shape.
Yeah. I don't forget this. Here. This is not the time you want to go, oh crap, I forgot a circlip. We didn't. It's good. We're fine.
screw on the intake.
Ooh.
I was able to get out just one it.
Okay, so now we've got a. I think there's a fairly mobile. I think we're going to regap this. What do you think? Let's regap it. We'll get an HL Supply business card out. That'll be enough. Bring it around to the magnets.
Dielectric grease, I see you got that in there. Is that good for like electrical connections?
Yeah, I use that for all kinds of it's basically silicone grease. So it's I believe that is non-conductive grease specifically.
So it keeps like ignition stuff from rusting or whatever.
Yeah, if you don't want something conductive necessarily, you put that on it. But I also have a whole pile of thermal grease. So this is dielectric grease, so for electrical connections. But I have thermal grease, which is the stuff that is for doing like computer chips and whatnot.
Wow, is that like expensive?
No, per ounce it probably is, but since you don't use very much of it, then no.
Really, it's probably just grease and higher quality control.
Right, all of it at the end of the day is grease, you know.
No.
Air shroud, do we have that in there?
Oh wow, you really did a muffler on this thing.
Somebody did, yeah.
Shroud. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got the wobber on here. Interesting. It's amazing though, like this ammo almost looks like a copy.
Well, one's probably a copy of the other, yeah.
I mean, it's actually really amazing. It is really like almost exactly the same.
This needs to go under.
And it is the $1.99. It's the problem trial code.
Mm-hmm. You might take it apart and put a kit in it, it might be fine. But
What was that?
you might take it apart and put a kit in it, and it might be fine. But since I don't think I've ever had a 199 I was able to do that with.
Can't you just do like the tree monkey trick?
That's not the only problem with those.
What is it? Accelerator pump?
I think there's an accelerator pump, but also it just sometimes doesn't flow fuel right.
The jets are probably really small.
And you can spend hours on those things, you know. You can spend an awful long time. Okay, I like these run underneath the main wire here. We have the starter. Starter?
Sorry. Rope looks good.
Yeah. Hardly. Oh, something was tight. Oh, it was stuck down in there.
Run another parts to put on it. It's a good sign.
Oh dear. Yeah. Hey Norm, you made it. So Mason, do you own all the saws you run on your channel? Did you answer? Bob asked you a question. If you haven't, He wants to know if you own all the saws you run on your channel.
Do I own them?
Yeah.
Most of them. I would say like 80%.
Well, the 064 is yours. Your
Yes, that's
064
mine.
is yours.
I love that saw.
The 395 is yours.
Yes.
The 7900 is
Yes.
yours.
The 572.
The 572 is yours.
I have two of them now. Yeah, some crazy. I have too many. I really have too many for what I actually need for it. But it's a hobby.
And your profession.
Yes. Gotta have many tools in the toolbox.
Right. Many tools in the toolbox. Well, that's, you know, I think that gets back to the definition of professionalism is that if you don't have lots of tools at your disposal at any given moment in your chosen profession, I don't think that's professional at all.
I think you're right, yeah.
So,
You're basically, it's a hack, right?
you're kind of, well, you're kind of winging it is the thing, and you're praying that your equipment is going to work, and I don't think that's a good strategy.
I don't like to live in hope. I like to know things. It's the kind of person I don't like guessing. Like, I don't know.
I like the confidence that comes with having lots of tools in the toolbox.
Exactly.
That's what that is. It comes with confidence, and you can say, you know what, I know how to get this job done because I've done it.
Reach in here, you got it.
I reach in there and I know exactly what's there. That's right. All right. What's next on here? You want to do the muffler?
One of them is. The other one isn't. There's definitely a baffle in there, but it's cut out now.
Yeah, somebody cut it out.
There's only one screw in there, I think. The other one is that. Must be somewhere else.
That's not good. Okay. So we're short an exhaust screw? That's a really long one. Okay. Good news is I've got lots of those.
Van Mill Bob said that I think the problem with my 346 carb was that the fuel line split at the filter and picked up some trash.
It's possible.
Yeah. You saw with that 372, that HD12, that had all that shit in the sawdust screen or whatever. Chances are a lot of that stuff makes it past that. That screen is pretty coarse.
Okay, Mark, I am not putting red Loctite on these bolts because you're going to probably want to pull this later and look. Oh, come on. Why?
That's gotta be the silliest top deflector I've seen on a stock muffler. I'm surprised it doesn't burn the cover.
I found the second one.
Are you gonna get it to pop?
Probably. So I put these down nice and easy initially. And then you get these in.
What do you call somebody who isn't a professional but isn't a hack?
Semi-pro.
Semi-pro, that's a good word. A hobbyist.
A hobbyist.
Just for fun.
I think there are plenty of guys that probably are not claiming to be professional, but they act very professionally. And you have lots of people that claim to be professional and have not half a clue as to what they're doing. That's the real problem.
Yes. I would rather have somebody who has at least an attitude that's professional.
Right.
That counts since it started. You ever see some guys who like use tools that are just so shoddy and hacked, and it's amazement that they're able to complete the job.
Yeah.
Like whether it's their work van or it's their lawnmower falling apart, just anything, any tool. Maybe it's just a lack of caring.
I had a tree service show up at the neighbors the other day. They did not have a clue as to what was going on. And the thing is, I could hear inside the house that he had a dull chain.
Yeah, you can hear it pretty easily.
I could hear it. And he just kept revving the thing. That poor 395 was getting revved like crazy with a dull chain. And no oil, no bar oil, by the way.
Dumbass.
Oh, I got it. No, you don't.
Well, they probably don't even own this song. The boss probably wasn't even there. Right?
No, I think that was the boss.
Really?
I'm like, okay, dude.
Chooch. And then that saw is going to end up in your lap one day in a parts pile.
In a parts pile.
The chain catch all broken off.
All right, so that's all torqued. We did that. That's good. I know, taking a sweet time. It's too much fun. Why would you not? Yeah. Let's do the chain brake here. Thing's going to tend to pop out for sure. You've essentially got a washer there. You got a washer here. And then you have the brake handle itself. And that goes like that.
I think if you put a 353 sticker on there instead of the 359 one, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Right.
Honestly.
You wouldn't know.
I wouldn't tell the difference. I'm sure there's a weight difference, but can't be that much heavier.
One.
It's nice how they have the brakes set up like that where you can just unscrew it off. Some saws are dumb, like where they got like the brake handle is part of like
You have to dismantle everything, and yeah.
It's stupid. Simple.
More simple. Gotta be simple.
What is it? Stupid, simple, or something? What's the saying?
Keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. Yeah, that's principle. Yeah. All right, so now I think we've got to the carburetor part. The brand new carburetor. So what do? Modify it.
Modifying a brand new carburetor.
Brand new carburetor. Gotta modify it. That's all I'm gonna do. Nobody's saying
Do
it.
you only check the pop off if it's like running weird, right?
Yeah, if it runs weird, then I'll check the pop off.
What was that story with your 272? You had to wait.
But a brand new carburetor, the pop off wasn't pressure was too low or something stupid. So I had to immediately. I stretched the spring and it ran great. Still runs great.
Yeah, I saw it does run really well. Stretching the spring makes it stiffer, right?
Yeah, so you're increasing pop off pressure.
I got you.
Doing that.
That's probably one of the downsides of buying a brand new carburetor out of the box. It's not quality control tested. Like, let's say the saw was down the assembly line, its carburetor was tested and ran at the factory. You know,
Actually, I'm willing to bet a lot of saws are not run at the factory.
really.
Smell the fuel tank. If there's been nothing in there, you know.
Do you think they hook up lines to it? No. Maybe they only take like 1 in like 20 or something like that.
Right, let's see. Can I slightly bigger screwdriver?
That's the sweet sound of a screw in its full range of tuning.
It doesn't. It really doesn't want to go. Okay, fine. It's going to be difficult. We'll make this difficult.
What you trying to get it off?
Yeah, I'm just going to take the stupid metal piece off here. Goodbye. And then we're going to take this plastic piece off because we don't need that. We'll just pull these pieces off first. There we go. Perfect. Now you can get to these. Yes. So what we're going to do, that's all the way home. We're going to go like 1.5 out. 1.5 out on both. That's a reasonable starting spot. Good. You can pop in your choke at this point. Make sure the AV here is good. I'm wondering if
I timed the start and finish in there about 1.5 hours in this thing. It's a pretty good time.
that's just on the vent there. I'm just kind of wondering if I should have put the vent up through there instead of here.
What?
The tank vent.
Put it through the wrong hole.
Yeah, well, it looks like it might be good for that, but it's deceptive. I think I'm going to put it through.
Once the fuel line comes around the baffle, right? Like a 350, right?
Yeah, it's the back hole, but the back hole's, and this one is double. It's like a double space.
Huh.
So I should just be able to.
Pain in the ass.
It wouldn't have been a pain in the ass if I had put it in the right hole to begin with.
Sometimes we create our own problems.
Well, also, if I went back to the video of me taking this apart, would be helpful too. Need another grabby thing.
Where's that vent line hooking near the intake or something?
There's a nipple right here for the vent line to hook into.
Gotcha. And they probably do all this contraption compared to the older ones because they want to keep it clean or something. Because the old ones just have a puck or something, right?
Right.
Puck. Personally, I like that better.
Okay, so the vent goes to the nipple that's here. That's basically part of the plastic, whatever that's called, the carb base. And then this goes here, so the fuel line goes right on.
Will said he has a chocolate and a black raspberry cookie sandwich. You know, I wish I had that right now, actually. That actually sounds...
Black raspberry cookie
I could use a snack right now. A snack and a coffee would be nice.
I don't know if the DD is still open. Sorry, man.
What was that?
I don't know if the DD is still open. Pull a little bit more of the slack back into the tank. A little more slack down here. That's both of them are run. That's nice. That's kind of elegant looking.
And Real Bob says he's enjoying this 359.
Good.
That was a nice song. That was a nice piece. I think I would say that was one of the nicer pieces that you've done right all past year. Where do you get that thing again, made originally?
I don't remember.
You should remember.
Don't remember.
There's probably more good ones where you got it from.
Right, I know. I got to keep looking.
You gotta remember where you get those good ones. Those are the piles to pick from. Probably someone from a channel, huh?
It might have been Bob. I don't remember if he sent it to me. Bob, was that one you sent? Because I don't remember where I got it.
The one that you put the 357 cylinder in, right?
Yeah.
So he sold it to you and then you sold it back?
It might have been just fixed for him, but I don't remember.
Yeah. That was a while ago. That was like earlier. That was way back in the spring or something. Or earlier in the winter.
I'm doing things out of order here. Somebody's messing me up.
You figure it out.
Now I got to take this out again. I forgot to screw in the carburetor. I was hooking everything else up, and I'm like, why is this not going? Oh yeah, because I forgot to put the threads and the screws in here.
Whoever did that muffler actually did a pretty nice job on it.
Well, yeah, you're right. Those are a pain in the neck to do.
That's not easy.
It's not easy to do.
And it looks clean too.
Yeah.
I think muffler mods are one of the biggest pieces to making a piece look nice.
And if I still had my welders are gone.
That 572 muffler is fucking sweet.
Isn't that great? We did literally like it rained the second after we were done.
You think you'll ever get another one?
Oh yeah, I'm getting a check from the insurance
That
company,
sucks, man. No,
but it's
still
less than.
sucks. That was a good welder too. What was that? What brand was it again?
I had a Miller 180 auto set.
So could that do both MIG and TIG?
No, just did MIG. It was just a MIG welder.
But you have a TIG welder.
The TIG welder's now gone too. They took both the welders, the MIG
So
and
you
the
had
TIG.
two.
Yeah, I had both.
I thought you only had one.
Nope.
Fuck.
Sucks.
That's expensive.
Yeah,
That's.
yeah.
Guess they had their freaking mindset on one thing.
Well, they were shopping. They must have known what I had. So that's really like the only explanation for it was that they had a good idea of what was in the shed.
And those welders were big and heavy. There's no way it took two of us to like really move that thing around. It wasn't a one-person job. That just took two welders and the chainsaw. 3 people. Assholes.
Oh well. Look at that. The throttle works. Check that out. Goes all the way to lock. Yep, that's fine. Turns on, sets the choke, it clicks off.
Your phone. Sorry. I don't know if it shuts it off.
Maddie pulled the thread I had 2 days ago. It just feels great. Nice balance, not heavy, runs great. Can't help but want to run it. Yeah. Black raspberry cookie sandwich. He's bad.
What was that?
The black raspberry cookie sandwich.
It's gone now?
No. Well, maybe it's gone, but yeah, he's bad. Will's back. Will, is your cookie sandwich gone?
Wait, you said it was bad?
No, he's back. He must have been eating it or something.
Oh, man. Will she see me something?
Will's local. You know that Will is local, right?
I think he lives near Dan. He lives right near Dan.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Dan. Be nice to get together again.
Yep.
At some point.
Yep.
In our lives.
Yep.
Be nice to have one. Maybe in the spring, I don't know.
Alright, we'll get a compression test in a minute. What else do I need to do here? Put the handle on, right?
You need this to do a conversion test, I'm guessing.
Probably.
Yeah, probably. I'm gonna take a guess. It looks like it cut a lot off, so I'm gonna say like 200. 190.
I'm gonna say 180. He cut the base, but he did not cut swish band.
Really?
Yeah.
Just a pop up.
Just the pop. Yes.
Yeah, that's right. You must have wanted to keep some of that stock number. If you cut a pop up break, because that's effectively keeping the stock numbers.
Right. The stock exhaust number, yeah.
Someone definitely spent a few hours in that cylinder though.
Okay, so now the 1184 has had some time to set.
I mean, that stuff only really needs like, what, an hour? Half an hour? Not even.
the decomp is in, so let's see where it gets to. I don't think it's going to be an ultra high compression head. So we're at 0. Now he's cheating. You need to do a try. You need to break it in, Mega. Oh God, my back. Okay. Oh geez. Ready?
Wow. Holy shit. 180 with a decomp in.
Let's see.
I knew it. 210.
There's 210.
I win a black raspberry cookie for guessing it right. I said 200. I was close. That's sporty, man. That thing's gonna get a little more too when you break it in. That's a hot saw. You would say that's a hot port job, right?
Yeah, you get 200 pounds of compression. Pretty good. Pretty good. Like, yeah, 200, 210, something like that. Yep. Okay. Are we betting it pops? I think this is the spark plug that was in it, too. Got some True Fuel here.
Solid candy.
And we're gonna add this to Mark's bill. Okay, choke on. So make sure all this works. Yep, choke on.
Yeah. Get sprayed with sugar. Fucking runs.
She lives.
Fucking 5 poles.
Run a couple tanks through this weekend. Have your guy do a review. Mark, you leave it with Mason? I guess it's yours, Mason.
I guess I'm your tester.
You are.
You're the tuner part of the operation.
I just put them together, man. That's all I'm doing. All right, that's on. Right, that's Mark's. Don't want to lose that.
I bet you.
Do you have a small mount bar? Do you have a bar that'll fit this? A small mount? Oh, you don't. I don't even know if I do.
Shit.
Mark, was there a bar on it? No. I have to have a small mount bar somewhere. All right, we'll go look for one.
Sorry. I wish I did, but it's late. That's why I stick with large mount saws.
I know.
Less of a pain in the ass for me.
Put the nuts on there, and we'll go look for a.
Still smoking out. Look at it. Still smoking out.
Go look for a small mount bar. Jeez. 40 inch. Yeah, we'll put a 40 on her. Yeah.
40-inch bar.
All right. We'll have Mason fiddle with this, but we got to find a bar. If we can't find a bar, then I'll figure something out, I guess. I got to put in an order to HL Supply anyway. So.
I bet this thing rips with a 20.
Yeah, find a 20 and go for it. So, it's time to call it a night, guys. So I'm out, and thanks to Mason for showing up. Mark, thanks for the project. Do appreciate it. I hope everybody enjoyed, getting this together here. It does pop. We will, if it runs at all, we get it to run. You'll see it on Mason's channel. Check out Average Timber Cutter, one word, Average Timber Cutter, for Mason's channel. And questions, comments, anything else, guys? Leonard, no 28s, Leonard. Send him an invoice. I gotta send him an invoice. Whatever it is, it's gonna be not expensive enough, right? Mark, I'm not gonna send you an invoice yet because we don't know what else it might need. We're gonna assume right now that it's good. It certainly looks good to me, but what were the things that we actually put on here? We put the new carburetor. What did I actually do to this? I put a new fuel line, a new carburetor.
The intake.
The new intake, yeah.
Cleaned up the cylinder. Didn't touch the ports.
But there was no new gaskets or anything that I put on here.
Is that the bottom end looked right?
Bottom end looked okay.
This is the 359 have proprietary, or is it seals?
No, this is actually the one saw that is like perfect. This is the Matteo perfection right here, because it uses 6202s on both sides and the same seal on both sides with no funky rubber O-rings or nothing. It's just straight seals and bearings. So the bottom end on this is like the Matteo dream. It's stout. So yeah, so fuel line, carburetor, baffle.
Did you put a new chain adjuster or something?
No, I don't know where that's from. That might be like bucks or something like that.
What a complicated.
Did we do anything else, Mark? I don't think so. Go figure out my 359 game from. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. It's terrible. I'm sure it's in a video somewhere, but I don't remember.
Sorry.
Okay, so we'll call it, Mark. I'll come up with some type of numbers. Yeah, we'll be in touch. So this is fun. Hope everybody liked it. Everybody have a great night. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to check out Average Timber Cutter.
Thanks.
Mason will be probably working on this. Assuming we can find a bar. All right. Talk to you later, guys. Thanks. Bye.